This is Christoph Ebert, and I'm going to introduce you to the results of our industry survey on Trends 2025. The survey has been conducted towards year-end 24, and we have aggregated the results in order to distill the major lessons which we should take into this year. Now, as a first topic, let me introduce you towards the background. Victor is a software company, leading software company with about 4,500 people, globally active in markets such as automotive, medical, generally speaking, always those which are critical industries where mission criticality is determined by functional safety, cybersecurity, and others. I've been working in different industries, first in IT. Most recently, for the past 20 years, I've created the consulting business in Vector. And with that background, I work with companies worldwide in very different industry segments. Now let us look into what I really want to get across, which is where's technology leading? And when we look into some of the major patterns, then we see that there's a vast change in many dimensions, notably when we go into business models, into culture, we see that there's an evolution towards much more disruptive business model. A major change is also that we move towards a software-defined company. You know all about software-defined cars, software-defined vehicles, software-defined radio. These are all patterns which all lead into that we need to have a better perspective into how can we best possibly utilize software in order to define not only our products, but also the way we are working, the company, and therefore also our future destiny. And that impacts also ecosystems, supply chain, and also, if you want, our risks, which in the past have been primarily defined by project risks, in the future also very much by legal demands such as liability, but also the dependencies of our different products and components. Now, in terms of technology, IT, software architecture, we see an evolution towards the convergence of enterprise IT and product IT, especially with a new set of adaptive stacks, which are compounded different depending on the needs. We see a lot of new technologies mushrooming, and we have to make careful selection and decision, which is one of our topics where we work with many companies worldwide. A topic which I want to emphasize in this presentation, because it was also key feedback from our survey, is testing. Testing eats between 30 and 50% of effort typically, and is the least methodological and the least systematic process across the whole life cycle. That means in testing, we waste a lot of money. Testing has lots of gaps that brings risks, but also there is no viable strategy for regression testing, which wastes a lot of time and in fact hinders the evolution of agile and continuous X and of course DevOps practices. So let's have later on a look into testing, especially also the evolution of testing, such as cognitive testing, intelligent testing methods, but also methodology like test-driven requirements engineering. Finally, I want to emphasize the evolution of competencies from a more static, you learn a discipline, you'll use it, towards a much more dynamic, because we use these days a lot of AI, and that means a lot of jobs, a lot of roles, a lot of functions will evolve towards using AI as a co-pilot, as a partner. And that means we need to emphasize critical thinking. We need to emphasize a full set of new competencies in order to master Gen AI as a partner of what we are doing and not just as a tool like a pocket calculator. Now, at the same time, we realize in our survey that we are trapped in what we call the magic triangle. You see that for short-term and mid-term challenges, cost, quality, innovation rank highest. Magic triangle was coined already in the 70s. At that time, it was related to project management. It was about cost, time, and content. And it was perceived as unsolvable, therefore the name magic. Well, we learned over the time that with systematic process, like CMMI, and with agile, in that combination, it's not either or, it's combined, we can master the magic triangle. Today, the magic triangle is on a higher level. It impacts our culture, our organization, our workflows, our products, the way we are working in IT and in software. And therefore, the label is not anymore only the cost, the time, and the content, but it's much more cost, quality, and innovation which we have to master. And at the moment, we have not yet the methods and tools in place so that we can easily say we can master this magic triangle. So we have to be careful not to focus only on cost because it's a short-term need. We have to balance these needs. And these days I'm in China and I do this recording actually from China. And what I see here, especially in Shanghai, is a very fast innovation towards new topics. China is also in a very big challenge with respect to cost, with respect to R&D effort, with respect to the market evolution, which is a lot of uncertainty since the beginning of 25. But at the same time, they innovate. And that is the major difference. And let me maybe just scroll a little bit upwards. I mean, what you see here, this is the symbol for this year in China, which is the year of the snake. And the snake pattern, I think, is really the important pattern for 2025, which is that we are able to circumvent obstacles, that we muddle through in a positive way, and that we really take a chance, even in a situation where we have not really much idea what comes tomorrow. We have a lot of uncertainty, but the snake is able to dig out the best possible solutions. And this is in the year of the snake, and this Chinese or lunar year of the snake, one of the major pattern. And that will help us to also master this magic triangle of cost, quality, innovation. And that means not just saying we want to focus on cost. That's what many Western companies are doing. Reduce R&D cost. This is wrong. We have to intelligently improve efficiency, IT efficiency, software efficiency. And one topic where we focus a lot these days with Vector Consulting is testing. Testing eats between 30 and 50% of effort. You can see that if you go from the bottom, people say test effort beyond 50 or below 30, there was about 20% in total. 80% of the companies spend between 30 and 50% of effort on test. At the same time, they don't have any usable test method. And this is really the way to move forward. If we spend about half of our R&D budget on testing, then, and we see also here in the upper ranking that a huge majority of the people would say test effort is steadily increasing, but the efficiency is not growing. That means this is our focus. And that means intelligent testing, cognitive testing methods, which also imply testing for AI, testing with AI. This is a discipline where we currently spend a lot of effort in Vector, but also that we, from the beginning of the requirements, identify with positive and negative use cases, which are the patterns which we have to safeguard. How do we best test? What is a minimum viable regression test strategy? That are the topics of our focus for the future in order that we can really master testing and are not mastered by testing. Looking forward, we see this pattern of ACEs still dominating the industries across different markets, different regions and products worldwide. Autonomy, convergence, ecology and services. Autonomy means an increasing amount of automation. The workflows, the products, the ecosystems. Convergence means the embedded, the product, and the enterprise IT get together. You know that from cloud services. Ecology means green IT. We have to be careful, not just explode our Gen AI, but also use SLMs, small language models. This is better for cybersecurity and it's better from a cost efficiency. And finally, services. This is a continuing pattern because the real value of business model is that you package them with services. This has a lot of business impacts, from business models to the ecosystems and partnerships to a lot of risks which you have to mitigate with governance and also mastering liabilities such as standards. For your own growth, my recommendation is grow both your CS and your engineering competencies, enterprise IT and product competence. You have to know both of those. It's not anymore either or. You have to be, as an engineer, also expert in IT and computer science, and vice versa, understand product IT. Master systems engineering. It's not only software. This can be done increasingly by Gen AI. What we need is a profound systems perspective, architecture, dependencies, how to work in different functions. Stimulate an agile learning for yourself. It's not anymore a push where you go and you will receive this and that training. You have to select the trainings and the patterns which help you grow in the domains which are most relevant for you. That's what we call agile learning. And improve your productivity. Ask yourself each evening, what did I improve today? How did I grow? How did I help my company to grow in order that we master this magic triangle of cost, of quality, and of innovation? And one way to move forward also to grow your own competences is our Vector Forum 2025. Cut a cost and not innovation. We have to balance. We need some efficiency, but at the same time, we have to stay innovative. That's the message in this, as I mentioned earlier, year of the snake. And in order to stay successful, I invite you to join our Vector Forum 25. You can directly register. We have a quite nice assembly of companies from different sectors, from different regions in the world, US, Europe, and Asia. We have sectors like mobility, medical, transport, and you will learn a lot about technologies and how to master these technologies in order to stay competitive in challenging times. And that being said, I wish you good success with your own evolution, the evolution of your company, and stay tuned with Vector and with Vector Consulting Services. We will help you to grow. We will help you to master the magic triangle. Thank you so much.